Have you ever felt just stuck? Caught in some kind of pattern that you know isn't good for you, but you feel completely powerless to change it? It's weird, right? We live in this age that's all about freedom and choice, yet so many of us feel completely bound. So, in this explainer, we're going to dive into a pretty powerful idea that maybe, just maybe, behind all these struggles are hidden contracts we've signed without even realizing.
And that right there, that's the central paradox that we have to wrestle with. We're told we have free will, that our agency is sacred. So if that's really true, if no one can actually force you to do anything, then how do we explain things like addiction or that compulsive need to just keep scrolling? What about those shame spirals that feel so impossible to escape? How in the world do we get trapped if we're the ones holding the key?
Well, to answer that, we have to start with the foundational operating system of reality itself. It turns out there's one single, unbreakable rule that governs pretty much everything, from the cosmic down to the personal. And that rule is consent.
At the very heart of this rule is our agency. Just think of it as your core power. It's your non-negotiable right to choose. It's the main lever you get to pull to interact with the world and literally shape your own existence. And here's the thing, it cannot be taken from you by force. It can't be destroyed. It's yours.
This phrase right here, it just perfectly captures the core mechanic of the entire system. Reality doesn't operate through coercion, it works through proposals. Everything that comes your way is essentially an offer, waiting for you to respond. No one, not God, not any other force, can just reach in and override your choice.
So this leads to a really crucial realization. Every single outcome in our lives, the good and the bad, from the most inspiring moment to the deepest addiction, is the result of this simple two-step process. An offer was made, and then, on some level, whether we were conscious of it or not, it was accepted. This is the engine of creation. And, as we'll see, it's also the engine of our bondage.
Okay, but if force is completely off the table, that raises a pretty big question. What's left for any influence that wants to bind you instead of free you? If they can't break down the door to your will, they have to find a way to get you to open it yourself.
And this is the loophole. This is everything. Your agency is sacred, sure, but it's not foolproof. It can be influenced. You can be tricked. You can be deceived into giving your consent away for something that's not good for you. And that makes deception the primary, really the only, strategy for any force that wants to limit your potential.
And when you look at it this way, you start to see two fundamentally opposing games being played. One path, one set of offers, leads to expansion, to co-creation, to more and more freedom. But the other path, its entire goal is to bind you, to freeze your progress, and to trap you in these endless, unproductive loops.
So how does this actually work in our lives? How do we end up signing contracts that we never even saw, let alone read the fine print on? Well, it's a subtle, step-by-step process that's designed to exploit our deepest vulnerabilities. It all starts with an offer. It's usually a counterfeit comfort that's perfectly targeted at a real wound or an emptiness you feel. Then comes the signature. Now, this isn't some grand gesture. It's a tiny micro-acceptance, a single click, entertaining a negative thought for just a second too long. The renewal happens next, through sheer repetition. Those small agreements become habits, carving pathways in your brain. And finally, you get the notarization. This is the scary part. This is where the pattern fuses with your identity, and you start saying, well, this is just who I am. And what's absolutely crucial to understand is that the deceptive offer never looks like a trap. It never shows up with horns and a pitchfork. It arrives disguised as the exact thing you think you need in that moment. Relief from pain, a hit of empowerment when you feel weak, or protection from ever getting hurt again. It always promises a shortcut. Every single time you say yes, even in the smallest way, you are reinforcing that agreement. You're stamping it, approving it. And over time, all of those repeated acceptances grant that negative pattern a kind of legal right to exist and operate inside your life. It's like you're building a prison for yourself, brick by brick, with your own consent.
Okay, so let's pull this ancient spiritual dynamic right into our world, right now. Where are all these negotiations happening? Well, they're happening at lightning speed, all day, every single day, right through the little glowing screens in our hands.
Just think about it for a second. Addictive algorithms offer us endless distraction to numb our emptiness. Outrage media offers a quick hit of false righteousness. Pornography offers counterfeit intimacy without any of the risk. Consumerism offers a fleeting sense of fulfillment. All of these are modern, highly optimized systems for delivering deceptive offers at scale.
Our digital world isn't some neutral playground. It is a high-velocity negotiation environment. The scale and the speed of it are totally unprecedented. What used to be a slow personal temptation is now this massive industrial-scale operation, constantly, relentlessly vying for our tiny little micro-acceptances.
But here's the thing, and this is so important. This is not a hopeless situation. This is not a story without hope. Because just as you can enter a contract, you can also exit one. There is a lawful, structured way to reclaim your agency and to break the very patterns that bind you.
And the path out is almost a perfect mirror of the path in. First, you have to discern the offer. You have to pause and ask yourself, what am I really agreeing to with my attention right now? Second, you have to actively revoke consent. You use your will, your voice, to verbally break that agreement. And finally, you consecrate your agency by consciously and deliberately reassigning your yes to something better, to patterns of freedom and truth.
Now, I know this might sound a little abstract, but the process is meant to be incredibly practical. It's about using your voice to state your intention with authority. So for example, if you're operating from a Christian framework, a declaration might sound something like this: in the name of Jesus Christ, I revoke my agreement with the lie that I am worthless. See, this is an active exercise of your agency to legally void a deceptive contract.
This reframes the whole struggle, doesn't it? It's not just about gritting your teeth and trying harder with more willpower. Honestly, that's just fighting the battle on the enemy's terms. Real freedom comes from using your agency to accept a higher contract, a more powerful truth, which then lawfully invalidates the adversary's claim on you.
And this is the ultimate hope in all of this. Your agency was never lost. It was never destroyed. It was simply hijacked. It was trained through deception to work against you. And the really good news is that anything that can be trained can be retrained. It can be aligned once more with freedom, with expansion, and with light.
So, if you take just one thing away from all of this, please let it be this. You are not a powerless victim of your habits or your circumstances. You are an eternal being with non-negotiable agency, and you are constantly being negotiated with. The power to see the offer for what it is and to choose your response has always been and it will always be yours. Now, I know this is a really powerful model, but it's not without its questions. So if you want to hear these ideas challenged from both sides and explored even further, I made a debate-style audio companion that really tests the model, answers objections, and goes a lot deeper. You can find the link for that in the description below.